man. Can we talk?
Something you wanted to discuss with me? I wanted to congratulate you. On what? Having a smart me on board. Seriously? Yeah, I flipped through some manuals while you were sitting on your hands. Looks like we had the base operating in minimum maintenance mode. Oh? Yeah. But I played around with functionality options and, hey presto, we got some new handy toys unlocked. Tools in the workshop and such. Wow. Oh, thanks. I can't wait to check them out. No problem. There's also some upgrades available in the building module. Sound like something you like to play around with too? Sweet. We could do with some improvements here. Sure, but don't start fantasizing too much. Remember, everything costs resources. So, wherever we are and however long we're staying, it might just be wise to see if we can set up a mining outpost instead of relying on shallow deposits. Just in case. Sound advice. I'll consider. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lucky old multi-tool. No wonder you took it with you. This little baby never ever let me down. Yep, I thought it might come in handy. Of course, every man of the house should have one. It sure helped me feel like one when the time came. Thanks, man. Those rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them. About time. I'm in some deep shit here.
So you're not at your destination yet?
I'm stuck. We're stuck. There's a freaking lava river blocking our way.
Do you think you can cross it?
I'm on it. Just need a little time.
Right. Well, I got in touch because I have some news for you. Good news and, well, just news.
Hit me with the good news first.
A rescue party is being organized.
Organized. You mean they're not on their way yet? What the hell are you waiting for?
Mr. Dosky, please, calm down. No matter how long the procession, it will always end up in church.
What?
Just the thing my grandma used to say when I was a kid and tired of doing my homework.
Except this is not about your homework.
Sure. But you gotta understand, your mission got dispatched pretty far away. We still haven't mastered teleporting.
So, what's the other news?
Well, I know you have a lot on your plate right now, but there's a request from my boss directly. Before we get you out of there, we want you to retrieve as much Rapidium as possible.
Oh, come on. Now? When I'm in the middle of this shit?
Yeah, I know. But the middle of this shit is the reason, Mr. Dosky. If it's true that there's a lot of it there, we just can't leave it to waste. With the sun coming and all,
I really don't know what to say to that.
it's sure gonna give your rescue mission wings if that's your kind of incentive.
Of course.
My boss will want to speak to you shortly. And you'll see how important it is. He's not some kind of empty three-piece suit if that's what you're afraid of.
I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was his idea to, you know, let you in on the branching procedure. By the way, is your altar doing any better?
Yeah. We're getting along pretty well now. Thanks.
That's very good to hear.
Is this about you wanting to talk to him again?
No. No, none of that. My boss put it out of my mind. That's not to mess things up even more.
So, you admit it's a mess.
What? No, we just... You know what? I'm not commenting on that. Talk to my boss about it.
Okay. I better get back to work then.
Yes. Just remember about the Rapidium, Mr. Dosky. And wait for contact from my boss.
the ship's surroundings. In a nearby system.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work. So, had enough time to come to terms with the situation? I'm fine, thanks. There's not much that can bring me down. But I still feel much weaker than usual. Funny, earlier today I tried to lift a container and I couldn't. Remember, you're not alone here. If anything's too heavy to lift, you can always ask for help. Kind of you to say that, but that's not what's bugging me. Physical strength is a part of who I am. Not to mention, it's essential to operate the refinery. Being strong seems to matter a lot to you. A little extra confidence never hurt anyone. Not that it was ever my priority. I just like the physical activity. It helped clear my head of problems. Your problems are gone here. It's a chance to wipe the slate clean. Maybe, but I still can't get my head around one thing. What's that? Like, if everything that happened to me isn't true, then does that apply to the people I knew too? I mean, do they exist, but in some different version as well? It's possible, yes. Huh. So, hypothetically, someone who in my mind is, let's say, dead could actually still be alive? Hypothetically? Totally. It's really hard to say. The variables are almost infinite. That's overwhelming. Shit. I think I need to get my mind on something else. Good idea. Focus on the work. We still have a lot to do before we get out of here. Right. Work. Sure. See you around then. Look at this beauty, huh? Jan gave me my old lucky multi-tool. Now that.
Functionality. Of your planet.
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lava lamp? You kept it? Sure. It's one of a few cool keepsakes from our childhood. Yeah. Mom and I like to sit by it in the evening, talking and joking. It reminds me of that period when life was challenging, but also really fucking great. Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for. Hallelujah. I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization. Sweet dreams, then. Look what I found. Any idea what it could be? Let's see. It looks like a qubit chip. Qubit chip? Yeah. Like an enhanced storage for quantum computing operations. It could be useful for increasing the efficiency of our QC unit. Not to mention accessing new tech in the research lab. It looks broken. Perceptive. A little love in the workshop should get it up and running. Gotcha. Thanks. Okay. I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is vast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it. Holy shit. What now? I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve? So now I'm smart, huh? Well, actually, I do have an idea. We could build a research lab and see if we can come up with anything useful there. Okay, let's give it a go. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. No way! Is that my old pipe? Yeah, and it sure is old. I didn't use it often after high school, to be honest. Huh, that's why it looks better than I remembered. I used it a lot. It inspired so many crazy ideas for fixing the world. Thank you.
Locating order.
I found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar about it? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called interral. The what? Interral. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane. Yeah, it felt like something was materializing from out of nowhere right in front of my eyes. Let's keep our heads cool. It's just a theory, no one's ever proved it right. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one. So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you? Hey, you've just crossed out every team-building exercise on my list. The people are there for the mission, not the other way round. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel. Honestly, I don't think you do. But I hope we're not going to sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now. That's true. Well, let's get to it then. I ran into another anomaly. This one was different. It was like this distortion was closing in on me, as if I was pulling it toward me. How extraordinary. Maybe its magnetic field is interacting with your suit. Yeah, well, running away from it was no fun. Keeping clear of it is the only thing you can do for now. Let's keep collecting observations. I feel we're onto something groundbreaking here.
Would you like me to address that?
Nice. I don't know that movie. Yes. I was missing that. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Marie? Marie Skwakovska? Where the hell did you find that old thing? Oh, I use it as an anti-stress ball, so it's always lying around. Anti-stress ball? This duck was the first audience for so many papers I wrote. Time for Marie to get back to her proper job.
Hey, man. I'd like to talk to you.
Hello, I guess. What a shitty day. Hey there. You wanted to talk about something? Yeah. I've been thinking about the branching thing. It's so confusing. Tell me about it. I mean, remember how I told you about my body? The one I know versus this one? Well, I don't get it. Why is it exactly that we're created with different minds, like, different beverages or snacks, but then we all end up in the same packaging? It doesn't make much sense. Well, it's not the packaging that matters most. It's the content. That's what they say. But you don't brew ale only to pour it into plastic bottles. My skills, my whole personality derives from a certain lifestyle, and that makes my mind and body inseparable. That's how it feels to me. Huh. I never looked at it that way. I know, and honestly, I find it a little hard to understand. I mean, how can you be so careless about your body? It's the only one you'll ever have, man. Why'd you let it become so neglected? I guess I just had more important things to do. Studying, settling down, buying a house. Funny. Now that I look at it, you probably didn't have my motivation. Which was? Well, for me, it all started when I moved abroad. After Mom died, I decided to stay there, and for a while it was pretty lonely out there. Didn't you have friends? Not at first, no. You can laugh, but I was a little apprehensive to jump into a new environment. It was just work and sleep, and some bad eating habits. So that's when you started working out of boredom at first. Then, kind of became a fun thing. I made friends, started going out a lot, but by that time, the gym had become an important part of my routine. I drank less, slept better, and it just made me feel in control of my life, I get you. Now that you've told me the whole story. Thanks. Maybe if I could get back to my routine here, at least in some way, it could really help me shake off all this anxiety. I'd probably sleep better, feel more like me. Do you think there's a chance you could help me get my hands on some exercise equipment here? I could try. Really? Thanks, bro. I knew I could confide in you.
Functionality manual. Objective deactivation.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you, this is the...
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found Rapidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. Don't want to put pressure on you, but... failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the Rapidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rapidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate Rapidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now. Constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
Okay, you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different Rapidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
So, you're afraid the Rapidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting Rapidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a Rapidium Ark should be your primary focus now.
Listen, you're very convincing, but I'm afraid I just won't have the time to do it. I need to find a way forward before the sun comes up.
You're losing faith easily. Look how far you've come. You survived the landing. You found Rapidium. Then you branched yourself and managed to get the base moving. Would you really be happy with yourself if it all went to waste?
Waste? Wow. Is that what you consider saving my life?
Your life, my life. Let's face it, all it is a predetermined string of events, distorted with myriads of random, meaningless decisions. We spend centuries looking for some kind of sense in it, some kind of meaningful pattern or recipe. Still, no satisfactory answer comes. Until, once in hundreds, maybe thousands of years, a chance appears to make a leap in our understanding of reality.
What can I say?
I don't know. But whatever you make of it, let me bare my soul to you. I think these are rare moments that matter. So, enough talking. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
No. I'm good.
Then we only have one more issue to clear.
What's that?
You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of your altars.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
Keeping busy, I hope.
Leon, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet. I'm done here. Should I do this now?
So, did you find a solution to our problem? Yes. It's super simple. We'll build a bridge. Oh, just like that? Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle. Wow, great. Sounds exciting. Yes, but... Oh, here we go. Cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live, but not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one. Stop moaning, will you? Just tell me what to do. You're right. Let's act. You are in touch with mining operations, right? Yeah, I am. Why? Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see. All right, will do.
Hey man, I think we're running out of food.
Before you head out, make sure you have all the important equipment. Haste makes waste. I'm not getting any connection from mining ops. Any idea how I can ask them for those blueprints? Didn't they push you to mine rupidium? Report getting the job done, and someone will turn up. Trust me, I know how this company works. Okay, thanks.
For evacuation functionality. System actively monitors the ship's surroundings.
Keeping busy, I hope. Hello, Jan. You again.
Evacuation functionality. Welcome to the
That's ridiculously amusing. You better watch your mouth, asshole. What was that about? Just another valuable discussion with our most charming alter, who wanted life and feels sorry for us pathetic losers. Details, please. Do I really need to go through that again? That asshole attacked me for using Mom as an excuse for not pursuing my ambitions. Seems to me he's the one looking for excuses. You're more alike than you think. Yeah, dude, I know. We share a face. It's more than that. You're both proud and stubborn. You feel like you have something to prove to each other, but you don't. Not with those sharp minds and tongues. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying you'll be friends, but you could try to find common ground. Fine. Maybe we'll bond over analyzing your shortcomings. I heard something broke in the dormitory and you're not feeling well. Yeah, man. There are simpler ways to kill a man quietly, you know. What do you mean? The AC started spitting smoke. You could have fixed it earlier. Sorry, but we need to save spare parts for more critical systems, like the radiation barrier. Huh. I guess there are even bigger threats out there. Yeah, all right then. Is there a problem? Listen, Jan, we're fed up with your mistakes. What do you mean, fed up? What is this? Morale is at an all-time low. You need to reevaluate your priorities or else. What exactly do you want me to improve? Are you ready to deal with your whole crew being ill or injured? Don't bother answering. You aren't. Build an infirmary, stat. I hear you. I'll do what I can. What were you arguing about? Nothing. He's just oversensitive and can't handle a little bit of constructive feedback. Tell me more, please. What's there to tell? He cowers behind the mask of a hero who sacrificed his chance to get a proper education to stay with his mother, and he tries to judge me for doing the opposite. I don't think he's cowering behind anything. I think he's just as proud and judgmental as you. Pride without ambition is just arrogance. We're nothing alike. Are you sure? He gets shit done just like you, and he's a pain in the ass, also like you. Fair is fair. Maybe I underestimated him. See? Now go hug or something. Don't be ridiculous. Best I can do is give him the benefit of the doubt. We're dangerously low on repair kits.
Jan, can you come see me? There's a thing.
It's over. We made it. So, do you have time for a little job evaluation? You wanted to talk?
Yeah, the magnetic storm. Quite a ride, huh?
Tell me about it.
Glad we're out of it. For good, I hope. Hope is the mother of fools. If you ask me, it looks like recurring magnetic storms might be a thing around here. We should think about how to prepare in case another one hits us.
Any ideas?
Actually, yes.
Tell me.
Well, it's pretty obvious that during emergencies, the base relies heavily on existing supplies, right?
Right?
That means we could use a smarter way to manage our production, to make sure we have a stable backup of all the crucial stuff.
That would be nice.
Well, listen to this. I found something in the manuals. The procedure we could set up. It's called Uphold Production. It lets you choose any item you want to produce. Let's say a radiation filter, and establish the amount of it you always want to have at the ready. Whenever you have less items on stock than you need, new ones will be queued for production automatically. Just like that.
Huh. That sounds like it could spare us a lot of micromanagement.
Exactly. Try it out and maybe we won't die because someone forgot to make mush.
I'm done here. Should I do this now? would you like me to address that? Getting a little cramped in our storage, Jan.
So, tough. Excited about not sleeping on the floor anymore.
I have something for you. The exercise equipment you asked for.
Awesome, man! I knew I could rely on you. Can't wait to try these babies out.